grinding away. The obviously great win for us last week to in a rivalry game come out. I think we played probably our most complete game of the year, offense, defense, special teams all together. A couple, still a lot of things we got to clean up. As that's why we're here coaching. There are some errors in the game that we made that we want to get cleaned up. But fortunately for us, even the errors we made didn't hurt us in the game like they have in some of the previous games. And they were actually, we had our fewest missed assignments in the game. They were fewer and far between, and when they did, we gave up. The one was a long touchdown pass off, and then some errors offensively we were able to overcome during the course of the game. So it was a great win for us. Back-to-back rivalry games obviously is huge. Getting to play that Friday, last game of the season. Of the regular season for us will be a big one, big challenge. I think I've learned through the years in these games. I mean, you kind of gotta throw out the record. Both teams are going to give everything they have, and especially with it being rivalry weekend with the last game of the regular season. We're going to have to. We talk about we want to be a better team at the end of the year than the beginning of the year. We want to continue to improve from one week to the next and get better. That's something we're going to have to do and hopefully build off of last week's performance and play our best game of the season on Saturday.
Talked about this last week, Hawaii rivalry. This one probably means more to the city and the Cannon and all that. You have so many new players. What do you try to do to make them realize what this means? Do you do that this week? Do you talk about getting to the championship? What do you talk about this week?
We talked about it this morning. A lot to play for, and you do when you in the rivalry game. I think guys, maybe it's different that guys. There's not a lot of guys that have been here for 5 years and have been played in this game for a year after year after year. But guys have played in rivalry games and understand it. And we talk about it, the importance, the difference between. Last week's game, a trophy game between, kind of a rivalry in different areas to one that's an in-state one, that is a neighbor to neighbor, and how important the game is to everybody in the state of Nevada. So we talk about that, but we talk about the other things that we have a lot, that not just is it a rivalry game. They've won 3 out of the last 4 games. They're peaking at the end of the year. We also want to play our best, and we have the opportunity to continue to play for a championship and play for the Mountain West Championship. So the focus for us has to be if you want to end this season the right way, you have to win this game, and to do that you have to prepare and come with the intensity, not just on Saturday, the intensity today as soon as we step on the field, to how we practice. That has to be at our highest level.
You've been in some huge rivalries. Any memories stand out of the better ones?
I've been in tons of them. I mean, they are. I mean, it sticks with you for a year, right? I mean, the Egg Bowl, that's neighbor against neighbor bragging rights for the year. I mean, it doesn't get, bigger than that. I think when it's an in-state one, it's different. That Utah BYU, that in-state rivalry, it just sits differently. And I think twice I played in that one. It was for a championship, conference championship. So, I mean, those in-state ones, though, when it's neighbor to neighbor, are huge.
Coach Anthony Calandria. I'm going to read it just to make sure. But Anthony Calandria is the first UNLV quarterback since Randall Cunningham to win 4 conference weekly honors.
Okay.
Just describe what he's meant to this program up to this point.
Well, I think it's huge, and I think it's so deserving of him, and I think it shows the growth and maturity, because he's winning those awards in his ability to use his talents, but also play quarterback at a high level. And I think I talked about that before. One, I know he's a very talented, gifted athlete. But you're not going to put up the numbers and win the awards if you don't execute and take care of the ball, right? And, manage, take what the defense gives you sometimes. If you're just out there playing recklessly, you can be a human highlight film, but you're not going to get the accolades. And, I think he is a guy that I think you've seen throughout the season does make the human highlight plays, right? And all of a sudden – Not afraid to check it down. Not afraid to take the defense gives you. He's not afraid to complete passes at a high percentage. Distribute the ball to who's there. I think we have double-digit receivers, or double-digit players with 10 catches. So it is his growth and maturity as a quarterback that's allowed him to do that.
Coach, your defense, 2 shutouts in the past 3 games. Just coaching, communication. What are you seeing on that side of the ball?
Well, what they're doing a really good job of adapting to little changes we're going to see in a game. Everybody's going to come out with different wrinkles. Come in. I think we've had a good plan going in, and then with that plan to slow people down, we've made some really good adjustments beyond the wrinkles that they're bringing in and the changes they're going to make for the specific game. And it's the mental toughness as the game goes on to do it for 4 quarters. And I think that's always a challenge that, hey, listen, I'm a coach. I want to play a perfect game every game, right? We should score on every play, and they should, have negative yardages on every single play of the game, right? As a coach, you want it that perfect at all times. It's not going to be that way, but I think that focus of 4 quarters to make sure we time and again and again and again and again our discipline and where we're supposed to be to go make the play. I thought the effort and strain we played with on Saturday was great. We knew they were going to complete passes. They're a high-powered offense. Very few missed tackles, very few yards after the catch. I think that was going to be a big part of the game, and we did that very well.
This rivalry is pretty heated in the past. There's been fights. You just had at least a couple of personal fouls in this last game where you got really angry. So how do you get the message across? Can't get suckered into that.
Well, I think for our guys, we talk about with that's not helping us. It's not helping our team. We want to play to our standard and our level of expectation. And it's an emotional game. They're always emotional games. And, so we just got to keep our focus about it and make sure we're doing what we need to do to win the game. And that's really the most important thing.
What do you think of your offensive line and the fact that you ran the ball pretty well, but you also had a lot of long developing pass plays that they had to protect on?
I thought they did a great job of protection last week. That was a challenge. We knew that Hawaii had some really good defensive guys that can cause havoc. Obviously, this week we're playing. I think that 2 of their top players are their defensive ends statistically make a lot of plays, play really hard, and tackles for loss, sacks. So it'll be a big, they're going to have to match that performance. I thought we played up front. I thought we played really well last week in both run and pass game, but we're going to have to do the same when you're looking at the challenge and the talent that they're putting up against our linemen, every single snap.
Coach, have you studied through all the scenarios that it will take for you to be in the championship game? Or are you just thinking about?
Yeah, I don't.
Reno?
There's a computer out there, right? That's going to figure it all out. It looks like so. We just got to worry about winning on Saturday. Worry about what we can control, right? It's the same thing. The one thing we can control is to play better this week than we did last week. Prepare better, practice better. Play a little bit harder, a little bit more discipline, make fewer mistakes, make more plays, and have a better performance on Saturday. If we're able to do that and win that game, I don't know what the computer will spit out. I think it looks okay for us, but the computer will spit something out, and we'll go from there.
Have you ever been to Mackey Stadium before?
No.
In Reno?
No, I've never been to Reno before.
Oh, okay.
Be my first trip up there. I've always wanted, I heard Lake Tahoe's beautiful, and it always looks like I'm a big lake guy and love wake surfing and all that stuff. I heard it's beautiful, but I've never been able to make it there. I'm still waiting on my invite to that golf tournament, right?
Edgewood, yeah.
Yeah,
You've got to go to Tahoe in the off
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get up my social media followers to become enough of a celebrity to get to play in the golf tournament.
Coach, Reno's been playing 2 quarterbacks really the last couple of games. How do you prepare for that, especially with Chuba not really throwing the ball much, more of the run look?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's smart coaching, utilizing your players, taking your best players, getting them on the field, putting the ball in their hands of how you scheme things up. So obviously it'll be a big challenge of us understanding and preparing it. But, we got to be sound. We got to fit. We got to be sound. We got to be aggressive to keep them on their toes. but also make sure we're, being responsible with where we are, and usually one of them's lined up at quarterback and one's lined up out at receiver. And, you got to kind of treat them, understand the trick plays and all the different things and options that can come with it, but then be sound in our schemes. And, hey, that guy's the quarterback, this guy's the receiver, let's go play.
Coach in the back. So you kind of mentioned playing in rivalry games, and you touched on the UNLV and Nevada rivalry just a little bit. Just kind of want to go deeper. Like, what do you know about this rivalry? What are your expectations or your thoughts on it?
Well, listen, in all of them, and you get in, you learn, because I've never played in it. I don't think, it's hard to learn them sometimes until you play in it, because you hear about it all the time from everybody and how important it is. But we haven't played in it before, but once you do, I think the benefit that we have, and even in today's world, right? You have kids that, are leaving from one school to the next. You're not going to have a lot of kids that this is their fifth time in this game, and which can get wild, But I know for the fans, I think the understanding importance for me is understanding what it is to our fan base, to the people of the state. And I think the players grasp that, because, most of the guys, even though they've transferred in, they've come from a school that has played in a big rivalry game. And so they understand that, hey, these games are all a little bit different, right? Whether you've played in the Egg Bowl, whether you've played in the Iron Bowl, whether you played in the Michigan, Ohio State, or Florida, Georgia game, you've played in big games, and guys have been involved in them. And I think they grasp the understanding of that, right? I mean, does it lead to maybe the mayhem that you see when everybody's been there for 5 years going against each other? Sometimes maybe not as much anymore, but it doesn't diminish how big a game it is for the players on both sidelines.
And then just touching on the Nevada defense, it doesn't really look like they've given up too many points in the last couple of games. You mentioned how they've been looking pretty good as of late. Just how do you prepare for their defense?
Yeah, I mean, they're very aggressive. They're going to give you a lot of different looks. When your leading tackler is a defensive end that leads the team in tackles for loss, sacks, everything, you can wreak havoc. And so, with that aggressive style scheme, we got to go play. We got to execute, stay ahead of the change. When we've been efficient offensively, we've been very, very good, and we got to come out and play efficient on offense on Saturday.
Silly question. Favorite Thanksgiving food?
Me?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's like a combo. If you ever saw my plate, I mean, I'm going to go with, I put my turkey down, then I put corn, then I put mashed potatoes on top of the corn. Okay, then I put the stuffing, on it with it. We're a stuffing. I'm a stuffing, not a dressing. I know there's different things, right? There's a difference between dressing and stuffing. I'm a stuffing. So all of that's kind of together. Then I'll grab whatever, I'll try to make it a little bit of color with like either a carrot or something green to make it look a little bit of healthy, right? I mean, it's hard to, I guess maybe you can go like green bean casserole. That's hard to consider healthy. And then you put that there, and then you smother the whole thing with gravy, and I kind of mix it all together and eat it together. I'm not one where I touch the turkey here and then eat the potatoes here. Every slice of turkey is probably going to have a little bit of mashed potato stuffing and corn with it, so, and covered in gravy. And what? Crumble cookie on top, yeah, and gravy. And then the problem is I love that so much. Yeah, don't go pie, but like if you're going to go pie afterwards, I got to have a little bit more ice cream than pie. But I'm a selective pie. I would be more like blueberry pie than I'm not like than the apple pie. I just, but it's always, I end up with more ice cream than the pie if we're doing pies. But I think a lot, we'll see. I don't know what we're going to have this week. We have a lot of the team coming over for Thanksgiving dinner. We kind of do that with the players. We talk to them about it because, some will have family in town, some will have family events, but a lot of guys are here getting ready for the game without families. So I asked the leadership committee, and they thought the best place for team Thanksgiving dinner would be my house. So that's where it'll be.
One more for me. The marching band. I was able to talk to the director, and he just said thank you so much for coming out to support. Just Rebel Nation, this community as a whole. What can you say about Las Vegas?
Well, I think it's been fantastic, and I think, I've always, people always wonder, which comes first. Hey, if you win, the fans will show up and support you. Or if the fans didn't show up and support you, then you win. In reality, in football, a lot of times if the fans show up and support you win. Like, that's kind of generally how you build the program. And now when you win, they're even more excited than happy to show up. So I've been so grateful. We've had great turnout at all the home games. Obviously, our band does an amazing job. I always tell them the band is kind of the they're the orchestra. They orchestrate everything going on. They create the energy and the excitement within the stadium for our fan base. If I could remind them of one thing, though, right? When we have the ball is not the time to do the wave and get loud, okay? You want to do the wave and be loud when we're on defense. When we're on offense, I'm looking around and I'm like, what the heck's going on? Like, we're trying to get plays called and communicate to the line of scrimmage, and it's like loud. I'm like, can someone get on the PR and just say, hey, wait till we're on defense for all of that? But, the energy, the excitement at the stadium that they've created has been fantastic all year long. Thank y'all.
It's Vegas, Coach. You gotta have the music playing.
Thank you.
For both of you guys, first, Chief, you've been in programs in the past with rivalries, obviously some very big ones.
Yes, sir.
So when you come into this week and you hear about the Cannon, you hear about Reno, can you kind of embrace it, or do you have to talk to people who've been in it in terms of what it means?
Every time you embrace it, you endure all the beautiful things that comes with the activities of rivalry. Rivalry games are very special to every program, and every program has one, So embrace it and showcase, show out, and handle business.
And what can you tell them about it?
Yeah, I was the same way coming in as a freshman. I had no idea about this rivalry, and my last 3 years being here, it's been an awesome rivalry for us, and playing for the Cannon, keeping it red every year means a lot to the fans and the community of Las Vegas.
How can you pass that along to your teammates so they know the significance, especially the guys like you, Jet, and Marcel playing in this last couple years?
Yeah, I think Chief hit it right on the head, just embracing it, and I think a lot of the guys have. And I think we've come together a lot as a team, and I think we had a ton of transfers this year, but we don't play like it. We play really cohesive, and I think together we just we realize that when it matters to someone, whether it matters to the offense or the defense or a specific player, it matters to all of us. So, yeah.
Chief, 2 second-half shutouts in the past 3 games. What has changed for you guys defensively?
The mentality. Really just finding our identity as a defense. We're really more so set in stone on just being ruthless, right? Being ruthless and being competitive every play, every snap, and minimizing mental errors as a whole. Once we started to learn that, okay, we can really play together. We all come from different backgrounds, different entities, etc. But when it came to, being the identity of the defense, we don't want to make sure opponents know what they're getting into, especially before the game.
Playing in the Mountain West, just how challenging or tricky has it been with these different offenses that you face?
It's a lot. There's a plethora of different offenses that we face on a day-to-day, on the weeks. So, the ball gets out a little quicker. Sometimes the ball gets out a little shorter, smaller, like screens, you name it. But one thing is everybody has played from different places, and one thing is our biggest impact is learning how to pivot within the defense that we play.
If you guys could kind of attribute or, the success that you guys have had this season, if you could pick one thing as to why you've had the success that you've had this year, what would it be and why?
I feel like we love each other, man. Genuinely. There's just times where we just have each other's back. Everybody's just on the same page, seeing eye to eye. That's defensive side, offensive side as well, but I'll let Austin speak for the offense.
I agree with that. I think, like I said earlier, we've come to grow so close as a team throughout this whole year. I think we've played through a lot of adversity, and that makes us grow closer as well. But, yeah.
Yeah, everybody loves everybody.
For sure.
Go through a lot, but we have each other's back as brothers.
Austin, the offensive line just continuing to get better. Really strong game on Friday night. What are you seeing from your guys?
Yeah, I think we were really challenged this week because Hawaii had a good defensive line, and we were challenged to protect the quarterback and win our matchups. And I think that was emphasized throughout practice, and we ended up playing really, really well. And obviously every week we got to win our matchups, and I think our offense starts with our O-line, and when we play well, our offense plays really well.
Coach Soleni just coming off a national championship. I love how great of a teacher he is. What can you say about him?
For sure. He brings a ton of enthusiasm and energy, and he really pushes us to reach our potential every day and play with relentless effort. And he's been with the best of the best, and he sees what it takes to be the best, and he pushes us to reach our potential every day.
Austin, for you, maybe in your 3 years, the Cannon's been red the whole time. Maybe one or two of your favorite, or maybe memories that stand out to you most about these Fremont Cannon games.
That's a good question. I love home games, but I like playing them I like road games too. Beating someone in their own home is always a great game. Just beating them in general, beating the team up north in general, just keeping the Cannon red. It's always a great memory, and it's going to stay red this year for sure.
That was a good one on the road 2 years ago as well. And then, Chief, for you, in your time prior to UNLV, what's the biggest rivalry game with the most intense atmosphere that you've been a part of?
I'll say Georgia-Florida. Georgia-Florida game is beautiful. There you have the Iowa and the Nebraska. The Pitt versus West Virginia, I feel like that's a little bit more gritty, grimy kind of game. Those people really do not like each other. So I'll just leave it at that, but let's keep the Cannon red.
Silly one, favorite Thanksgiving food?
Candy yams.
Candy?
Yeah, yams. Sweet potatoes, yeah.
Oh.
I'd have to go with mashed potatoes. Yeah.
If I asked either of you if you know the parameters of how to get to the championship game, would either of you know? Of how to get there, what has to happen?
I mean, we're really just focused on this next game and winning. This is the biggest game of the year for us, so just winning this game, that puts us in the best position possible.
Continue to take our steps, as a team, not too high, not too low, just stay in consistency and within flow. So just keep doing what we're doing, handle our business, and as Coach Mullen says, we want to peak at the end of the year. And that's what we're starting to do as a team, as brothers, put it all together so we can continue to take our steps that's already paved out for us. So let's keep doing that.
Austin, what have you told your teammates about playing in Mackey Stadium and the crowd up there, what they're like?
Yeah, it's definitely it'll get chippy for sure. And I mean, we've seen a little bit of it this last game with Hawaii, but you know, it's nothing we can't handle. We just got to play smart. Can't let our emotions get the best of us. But it's gonna be. They'll have a good atmosphere. They'll have they'll be talking. But you know, if we just do what we do, then we'll take care of business.
Chief, if you think that Pitt and West Virginia don't like each other, UNLV and Reno fans not like.
Okay.
They'll still be going.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Mark.